What is going on, guys? We are back with some more, not Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We can talk about Legends. Now, the beta just ended, and I feel like it's appropriate to do a review. I played pretty much the full 4 days, and it was quite enjoyable. And I want to kind of have a video to where I summarize everything good and bad about the beta. And I have a friend of mine, Goshen Games, very cool dude, streamer, plays a lot of good stuff. Not really Dokkan, but plays sort of online, League of Legends, a lot of good, stuff, guys. So if you do want a very entertaining streamer that plays a lot of variety of good games, check him out. Link is down below to the channel. But what's going on, Goshen?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I kind of quit Dokkan before it became cool.
Yeah, he'll still do the occasional stream. Like I'm sure you might stream the I think it's Broly who gets easy on Friday. You might do a little bit of that, but beyond that, guys, you're not really gonna see my Dokkan from him. But Dokkan, that's another video. We're not gonna talk about Dokkan here. We could talk about that forever.
Yeah, that went to like once a week, if that, for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, guys. So talking about Dragon Ball Legends. So, I kind of have my mixed opinions about how I feel about the game, and I know Goshen has his opinion as well. And I do agree with some of his points and everything else. I kind of want to break down bits and pieces. I don't want to go into the entire game right off the bat. I just want to talk about certain points. So for me, I want to talk about the gameplay first of all. Now, the gameplay is interesting, but it does need improvement for me at least. The biggest thing for me is a lack of blocking. I found this very, very annoying. I think it's random actually. So the blocking is actually RMG, which is actually even more annoying. And once you get stuck in a combo, you just can't escape it. You just take the damage, which I guess is good for you when you're doing the combo. When you're taking the combo, you're just there taking damage, and there's no way for you to get out of a combo, and there's no way for you to block. Gosh, you have any maybe opinion about that?
Well, yeah, because this is a Dragon Ball game, so you think about it. These characters are not just gonna sit there getting smacked in the face, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I want to see some form of blocking, whether they make it an actual counter card, because like the abilities in the game.
That'd be awesome. That's all they need. They need to just add a card.
Yeah. That
literally makes you to block. Like that'd be perfect.
Yeah, so that way like you can't abuse it. And then something that people don't seem to realize with the characters, each character carries their own set of ability cards. So if you had like, for example, just to take a little bit of Dokkan, like LR Piccolo in Dokkan is a blocking card. That's what he's built for. So if you had characters in Legends that are just for blocking, or that's what their main purpose is, they would carry those blocking cards. So then you can't really abuse it. You're limited to how many times you can block, right? I think
exactly. That makes quite
that's
a bit
pretty
sense,
fair
yeah.
balance.
Yeah. I think for you to block, you have to. I've seen people say you have to time it, so you have to dash back at a certain point. So with you dashing back as they attack, that's gonna activate the block, that's so specific and so timed. Like you need to time that perfectly in order to block. Whereas if you had a card like you said, or if you had certain blocker units who can actually block certain attacks, then that would take away the RMG, the timing of the block right away, because it's so annoying to try to actually time that.
Yeah, and
it's
like
very annoying.
You just like think, for example, like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Someone's attacking you, but if you had a trap card, you can activate your trap card, and then they can't do it. So it's like, just think of it that way, but in retrospect into this kind of thing. So if you have your blocking card, you're holding on to your blocking card until they do like their super attack, and then they do their super attack, the exclamation point pops up, you can dodge, or you can use your blocking card. Because if you dodge, you have that stamina bar on the bottom of your character, so you can only dodge once until that bar regenerates. So why can't they add like a easier form of blocking? It's just weird to me.
Exactly, I do agree. Now, I also want to talk about one other point that involves the cards. So I play with pretty much every character in the game. We had those free summons, so I got a chance to play with Nappa, Frieza, Sidemen, everyone. And the thing I don't like, this might be okay for some of you, but I know Goshen has the same issue as well. Everyone has the very same skill set or the very same cards. So there's no different variety of characters that have their own certain combo set or certain cards. They all have the same rush mechanic. They all have the same key blast. They all have the same, I guess, power-up icon. They all have different specials. That's the only thing different. But, for the most part, all the cards are shared throughout every single character in the game. So there's not much of a variety. They're playing Vegeta versus a Frieza. The only difference there is a super attack. And that's just a missed opportunity for me. They really could have taken the chance to really look at what they do in the anime. For example, if you go to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, he has a very specific way of punching and kicking in the anime versus Cell. So if they incorporated cards that has his specific moveset, I feel that would have been a better way to go about things.
Yeah, and I agree with that because like I mean, it's just I see like when the character animations happen that they do have their own style of fighting and punching and kicking and stuff like that, but at the end of the day it's still the same ability that you're clicking on.
Yeah,
and it's no variety. I'd like to see the kind of variety, like, or maybe different super attacks or whatever, because I mean Vegeta has his Gallic Gun, he has his Final Flash, he has his Big Bang attack. I'd like to see like different super attacks or different levels of the super attacks. That'd be cool. Or,
yeah, definitely.
Or
now
different combos.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I want to say something first, guys. So we understand this is a beta. Yeah, we know this. Most likely when the game drops, there'll be more content, more material. There will be more to the game when the actual game is released. So we know this is the beta, but we're just going off of what we see from the beta. And usually with the beta is a very good representation of what the real game will actually be. So I feel like it's fair to kind of get the pros and cons from the beta because most of it will cross over to be accurate. We might have more additional story, more additional cars, more additional, I guess, maybe another mechanic, but for the most part, what we play right now in the beta what will be the real game. So we understand it's a beta, guys, but for the most part, it's pretty much going to be the same thing.
Yeah, and maybe if the game is actually different enough, maybe we'll do another review on it, because I mean I feel like that's something that I was going to do, is give the game like a full chance once it finally gets released. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Now, one thing out of everything that this game has to offer, there's one thing that needs to change, and it's a stamina refill. Bro,
oh dear God,
I hate the stamina refill because it's 30 minutes to refill one stamina bar, and if you want to refill your stamina, it's going to cost you 10 chrono crystals. You can only do that 10 times. Now, I'm not sure if this is a beta thing only. I really hope it is, because if the game drops and you can only refill your stamina 10 times with the chrono crystals, then there will be a point to where you just literally cannot play the game because you cannot refill your stamina anymore. They do have those tickets that you can actually use to refill, but I don't know how to acquire them. But yeah, bro, like in the video you made, I know you had issue with stamina refills as well, so I'll make you talk more about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the stamina cost to me is atrocious. 30 minutes for one stamina bar is probably the worst thing I've ever seen in a gacha game, or in any game, period. I mean, I don't know if you remember those old Facebook games that people used to play.
Oh yeah, bro. What was it?
Mafia Wars or whatever.
Farmville, bro. Yeah, bro, I remember those games.
But I mean, those games, they didn't even have that. Like, they had a stamina cost, but it wasn't even like 30 minutes or nothing like that. I mean, I don't know what Bandai was thinking with this. It's I'd be okay if it was like the higher level you got, the less time went down, or the quicker the time count went down. I think that would have been like a good balance. Because I mean, if you're a low level, it takes less experience points to gain a level, but then when you're higher up, it takes more, so then you would have the stamina timer go down.
So yeah, it balances out.
Yeah, it would balance out, but so far I don't see anything like that.
Yeah, once again, hopefully it's a beta thing, so maybe they're limiting the amount of times you can play the game because it's literally a beta. So once again, guys, all these issues can be solved when the game drops, so we just want to make that a point that we're talking about these things now, but they can all be resolved once the game drops. So we just want to make sure that you guys understand that. Now, going into some good. So, obviously there's pros and cons to everything. We talked about the cons. Let's talk about some pros now. So for me, I love the summoning animation. Now, the summoning animation is, I guess, is quite high quality. But, you literally have a cut screen of Goku and Frieza fighting and then do a beam struggle for a super attack animation. So, well, not super attack, but the summoning animation. And once you do the summoning animation for the card, you get this, I guess, rainbow type of orb, and it pops through, and then boom, the card appears. I thought that was pretty cool. I really wanted to add certain things, like for example, add Goku going Super Saiyan, maybe even having Frieza go Final Form, or maybe having Goku do a Spirit Bomb, something extra in the animation when you summon, because there's a gacha game. We know the summons are where the real interest lies, right? But so far they've done it well for me. So is there anything you would add to summoning animation?
Yeah, I mean, I love the 3D character models, just to even begin with, like whether it's the summoning screen or if it's the freaking combat. I feel like with the summoning animations, the way that they set it up, it has so much potential to just kind of wow us and give us like iconic moments. Like they could freaking have Frieza come out and freaking kill Krillin, and Goku goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
I mean, that would just be nuts, just to see it and be like, that's the hype right there. You know, you're getting a high rarity card because Goku got pissed off and went Super Saiyan. You know,
dude, that would be so lit. I really would be lit.
Or like later banners, you have like so if they drop like a Cell Games banner, you have freaking Gohan fighting Cell and shit like that. I think that would be freaking so much fun to watch.
Yeah, that'd be cool because like the one thing with Dokkan is that we have the same summoning animation, and we've had this summoning animation since the game dropped. You know, Goku does a Super Saiyan above the Death Ball, the Kid Buu drops or whatever that is, the little asteroid.
Yeah,
he does that, and he either goes Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, or he's gonna crack the screen. If they were to add some variety, and they're like, you know, for example, we have these new transformations: Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, even a Super Saiyan 4. Like, if they kind of kept it a bit fresh, I feel like Dokkan would not really be more interesting, but you know, like when you summon, you would have that extra hype behind it. So to keep the summons fresh in terms of, you know, maybe bringing out Krillin, killing him, and Goku going Super Saiyan or whatnot, I feel that's something that would benefit them, you know, in the long run, honestly.
Yeah, and it would keep the hype for every summons, and they could change it for every banner if they wanted to, and I think that would just be fantastic. Like if they did a Saiyan Saga banner, they could freaking have Nappa doing his break cannon or whatever it's called, and freaking Piccolo going in front of Gohan, and that could be the summoning animation. Things like that would be just like, I would die.
You would die?
I would die because it's like, oh, you know, it's
that would be so awesome.
It's just one of those things, you know, like Blazing did it good, you know, as far as summoning animations. You have Naruto with the Rasengan, and then freaking Sasuke comes in with Chidori, and then Sakura comes in. That's hype, you know.
That's nice. I love that. I love Blazing summons.
You know, it's hype. So if you want people to summon just for the animations alone, and just to give us that feeling that we used to have for like Dokkan, for example, when we summon, because now we summon a Dokkan and it's like, okay, Super Saiyan 3, all right, cool, we're gonna get an SSR, but it's not like how it used to be when we first saw it, and it's like, oh my god, and you like got people,
jump out of my chair,
yeah, you got people Rhyme ripping his shirt open, you breaking tables.
Yeah, the good old days. Oh man,
you know, we don't have that anymore, and I think that, you know, Legends could do that for not only the YouTube community, but just people in general who play in the game.
Definitely, yeah. Now, I want to get your opinion on PvP. I wasn't able to play a lot of the PvP. I don't know why. I think the matching for me just wasn't good. I know they have it worldwide, but I'm not sure if your region plays effect because, you know, I've probably tried to get into like 20 PvP matches, and I probably got into like 2. Whereas other streamers, I've seen people stream the game and they got into matches no problem. So I'm not sure if your region has some kind of play behind that. But I didn't really play PvP enough to really have an opinion about it because I just wasn't able to connect. But you know, what's your thought on PvP?
Well, okay, so I got a decent amount of PvP matches, ranked PvP matches, and there's some good and some bad. The good thing is that it's PvP. I mean, you get to actually play with a real live person, and it's actual live timing, so that way, you know, anything can happen. And that's what makes it exciting. There's no timers that you have to wait for. You don't have to wait for one person to make his move in order for you to make yours. It's live. I think that's phenomenal. Now, the downside to the PvP match is the whole ranking system. So, for example, I can not go into PvP, get my characters to max level, and do PvP for the first time ever, and it'll go based off of my rank in PvP, which at that moment would be 0. And now I'm getting matched with someone who's equal to me and who has like just beginner characters, and I'm gonna wreck them because all my characters are maxed out. And I don't think that's fair. I think it should be based on the power level, not your ranking.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely agree there because, you know, if you're someone that has characters that are like, you know, level capped 60, 70, but you go up against someone that has like levels of 300, 400. I mean, come on, like, you know, there's
right, and I've
there's
done
no way you're
that
gonna do
so
anything.
many times. Like it was so unfair. I could just stand there because my character was level 300 and my opponent was like level I don't know, 50. And just stand there and they don't do any damage to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'd let them waste their all their cards. And then I just go and do 2 cards and they're dead. You know, that's not fair.
Yeah, they definitely have to make that matching a bit better. Now, once again, guys, just want to really make sure you guys know that, yes, it is a beta. all of this can be resolved once the game drops. We know this, but just talking about points that we think should be improved on. Last one thing I should say that that I enjoy probably the most. Now with Dokkan for me is a card collection game. I summon on cards and I collect them. The gameplay, I don't really care for the gameplay. I just love collecting the cards. So for me, the card art is quite important. Going into this game, they have honestly some of the best card art I've ever seen in any gacha game. If you compare any other game like Naruto Blazing, Sword Art Online, just anything else, this game does the card art animations, everything so well, because you have cards like the Cybermen, which is a very irrelevant character, by the way, but even them have animations in the background. So I feel like they did an amazing job of the card art, making everything HD. The color palette, everything they have, I feel like it's just exactly what we should expect from Dragon Ball Z games being dropped in 2018. What do you think about the card arts?
The card arts are freaking awesome. I love it. It doesn't translate well if you have a bigger screen though. It looks HD if you have a regular sized phone, but if you're gonna play it on a tablet, it does not look HD. It stretches the image out.
So you can see the pixels.
So you can see it pixelate, yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that. Okay, that sucks.
But I mean, it does look better than Dokkan. Like it looks more manga-esque. You know, like hand drawn and stuff.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah, that is awesome. Now we're gonna end off with 2 points, okay? I'm gonna say one thing I like about the game and one thing I don't like that I want to improve, and you're gonna do the same, okay? So for me, the one thing I absolutely love, once again, is the card arts. I feel like they did an amazing job of creating the cards. I haven't seen it on a bigger screen, so I haven't seen the slight pixels or whatever. But I'm sure it's not a big deal. I love the card arts. For me, that's a big pro for me. A con for me that I really wanted to improve on is stamina refill. I find it atrocious. I find it so bad. Like, they really need to do something with the stamina cost. Either bring it down or have a cap to where as you level up, you can actually bring the timing of the stamina requirements down. They have to do something to improve that. So for me, I love the card arts. I hate the stamina refill. What's your pro and con, Goshen? Well, you can only pick 2.
Okay. My pros would actually, and we haven't touched on this, my pros would be the adventures.
Okay.
So the adventures, really quick, what happens is when you play PvP, you get these special cards which you can send your characters off on adventures, and they get items for you when they return. And
they just sit there and train up.
Yeah, and I think that's fantastic to have that in there, because that's a lot of the items that you get are for like the potential system, which is they call soul boost or whatever it is. And that's something that you can do an indefinite amount of times, unlike Dokkan, where the potential system, you go and you grind it and then that's it. You can't do it anymore until like a week later for that specific one.
Yeah,
this is indefinite. I think that's fantastic that they did that in this game. A con would be in my opinion, the stamina, but also the combat needs to be tweaked. It's enjoyable, but it can be even more enjoyable if they do the proper tweaks to it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now let me ask you a question, okay? This game drops, what is it, June the 4th or 6th or something like that? Will we see Goshen Games stream Legends on a regular? Based off of the beta, based what we have right now, if the game drops and it's pretty much copy and paste with just some extra characters, but pretty much the same thing, same mechanics, same everything, will we see you probably do 2 streams, 3 streams a week, or is it probably going to be like a rare thing when something drops but you don't really care about it?
Based on the beta, and I know you watched my review, and I'm just going to put a little shameless plug in here. Go watch my review, guys. Yeah. Based off of the beta so far, once a week. It probably replace my Dokkan streams.
Okay.
It's not enough for me to just sit there and grind it. The hype is there right now, but I feel like it will die down if they don't make the tweaks that's needed in order to keep the hype train going.
Definitely, yeah, guys. It's a brand new Dragon Ball Z game. Obviously, anything Dragon Ball that's new will be hype for the first week, 2 weeks, probably a month. But for the game to have longevity, they have to improve certain things. Of course, drop new cards, but beyond new cards, just maybe introduce other things, fix little bugs, fix the stamina, cost. If these things are improved, then the game will have better, better longevity. But the hype right now is high for the game, and we just want to hype to continue, but it's up to Bandai now to do the job that they do, and hopefully they improve little aspects of the game so when it launch, it can be a better game for all of us to enjoy.
Yeah, it's just like Fighters. Fighters, the hype was there when it first came out. Now you don't really see anybody playing it.
Yeah, no one plays Fighters. No one.
So we don't want that for this game. We didn't want that for Fighters. So
yeah,
Bandai, fix it.
Fix it. All right, guys. Quick review. Obviously, there's points we probably didn't touch on because, there's things we can talk about, like story mode and everything, but I don't want to make a 30, 40-minute video. Like, Goshen and I could probably sit here and talk forever about certain aspects. I don't want a video to be long like that. Just a very quick review, quick opinion-based review, guys. Once again, our opinion. Down below, let us know what you think. Down below, let us know what your opinions are. I'll have Goshen's review. He did an entire review of himself. I will have the link to the video in the description, so go ahead and check out his review. Also, check out his channel. And yeah, Goshen, thanks for joining me, bro. I appreciate that.
Oh, anytime. You know that. It's
Cool.
2:30 in the morning for me right now.
Yeah, I just woke up, bro. I haven't had my coffee yet, man. Guys, I'm literally tired. Like, I literally woke up and Goshen was like, yo, let's go. I'm like, oh, god damn it. So, guys.
Well, you shouldn't have messaged me, but whatever.
Oh, man, whatever. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. Check out my man, Goshen. He's a cool guy. Check him out. Thank you for watching, guys. Like, share, comment down below. If you're not subscribed, make it a thing. Sub to the boy. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Later.
I will not let you destroy my world!